Reagan, and I'm about to read a story that I wrote in jail a few years back. It was one of my first short stories back when I first started doing this. The story is called Bad Advice for an Inmate. We may sell crack, weed, meth, and pills, break into houses, and carry guns with ghosts on the serial numbers. But we are the victims, held hostage by the Darnett County Sheriff's Department. Ransom money called bail money, and you will not see your family until it's paid. One youth was a member of the Crip street gang, posted up by a stop sign of all places selling work. He had just ran out when the silver car puts on the blue lights and pulls over. Two officers get out of the car, one with his gun out ready to shoot another teenager. It would be the force's second, counting the shooting near the Fall Pond area a few months back. The other officer tells the teen to place his hands above his head, and right there in front of God and everyone stopping at the sign, the cop gets more than a little frisky, repeating over and over, "Where's the dope?" The search comes up clean, but they make the kid wait while they check for warrants. It's around this time that he loses the cool and punches the stop sign. A big no-no in front of a Darnett County deputy in a land where you could be locked away for a fart that stinks too bad. Immediately is arrested for injury to state property, as apparently the stop sign took out charges. This story, along with countless others we listen to as we sit around playing cards and watching America's Next Top Crack Whore. Then suddenly I get an idea for a joke brighter than the precinct going up in flames. I tell the kid, if I were you when I got out, I'd take a cordless sawzall and cut the whole fucking sign down. Everyone laughed and went back to staring at toothless models in rags, but the kid looked off deep into space. How was I to know that gangsters took stolen power tools in exchange for drugs? I'd only made such trades dozens of times. And so this young gang-banging, drug-dealing thug finally gets his clique to pay the ransom money. Later that same night, after a blunt of exotic, the kid takes my advice and cuts down the stop sign, taking it home to hang on the wall as a souvenir. Then other gang members show up to hang out around 2 a.m., see the sign and beat him down in his own bedroom for displaying such a bright red object. A sign to get rid of the sign, but he didn't, and the worst was yet to come. At 5 a.m. that morning, a young couple unfamiliar with the area and on their honeymoon went flying down that dark road. They didn't know there was a stop sign missing, and so they drove straight through, colliding with a transfer truck. Days earlier, a preacher had pronounced them husband and wife, and now here they were in the middle of nowhere, pronounced dead at the scene by the coroner. The sheriff spits chewing tobacco on the ground, staring lustfully at the blonde female corpse. Then he asked the deputy, "Didn't y'all just lock a boy up the other day for punching that stop sign?" After that, they looked up the address, and before you know it, they ran up at his mama's house, and there it was, hanging on the wall still. Downtown he goes again, thinking they have him for destruction and theft of state property. But then the detective says he's charged with double homicide. Double homicide? I didn't fucking kill anybody, he says. Then the sheriff speaks up and says a young married couple were in a fatal accident because you wanted to be cute and cut down the stop sign. At this point, I was a day away from release, and there he was back on the pod. Upon seeing him, I laughed aloud and said, "Don't tell me you cut down that stop sign." He said, "Yeah, I did, and because of your cracker ass, I got a murder charge." The guards led him down to his cell, and I thought to myself, yeah, that's me, American-born terrorist, holding a gun to the head of innocent thugs, making them cut down signs and put cherry bombs in mailboxes. The next day, I was a free man. The first thing I did was go buy a quarter. While smoking with my dealer, he informed me that the Crips had put a price on my head. He says this sack is on him because he can never sell to me again. Be careful out there, he tells me. Days go by jumping at shadows and hiding under the bed every time someone drives by bumping some snoop. Scared to death they may dump shots out of the coop. I'm just an average white guy, probably the only one in America running from the Crips. I may as well walk the streets in a red dress and matching bandana. That's how afraid I am. Months go by and it all quietens down. I go out to a gothic nightclub with friends. One of them hands me money and tells me someone's outside with some X for us. I walk out and almost have a heart attack when I see the guy wearing a blue rag. About that time a car rushes up the street. Someone hangs out the window and says, "Check yourself, fool," then opens fire. I manage to make it back inside, dragging myself across the lobby, leaving a blood trail behind me. My friends come out in all black with tattoos and pure step, throwing hand signs and crip walking. One of them says, "We hated to set you up, dude, but we all have warrants and need ransom money. You understand, right?"